Okay. Okay.
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN E-mini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things E-mini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro. Joining us today, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Tuesday, 23rd day of December, 2025. Thanks for joining us. This will be our last broadcast this week. Next week, we'll do 2 broadcasts, maybe 3, but probably 2. See how it plays out. We're going to do things a little different today. Michael's going to come on first, give us a recap of everything that happened this morning in the live training room, then do a little live trading as time and markets permit. When he's done, I'll be back and we'll run through our regular broadcast. Michael, if you're ready, take the screens.
I am ready. Thank you. All right. The intro, the audio, I couldn't hear it at all. It wasn't like the normal one. We can hear it really well. But I don't know why either. I could hear it just a little tiny bit, but you came on, full audio the way you normally do. So it was good.
All right, I'll have to look into it.
All right.
Screens look good.
Excellent. Here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, the 23rd day of December, 2025. It is our final broadcast before, yes, Michael, hang on. This is our final broadcast before Christmas. All right, we won't be back again until next Monday. Now, if you have not taken the free trial, you can still sign up for the free trial. And if you sign up for it now, you'll have it through next week. All right, you'll have it the rest of today, tomorrow, Friday, and through next week. All right, so if you haven't signed up for the trial, go here to mytradingiq.com, click on the purple button right here. There's no credit card required for the trial. Just click on that purple button, and it will bring you to this registration page right here. All right. Now I know it only goes up to Wednesday, but if you sign up for the trial now, we'll have to create another one of these for after Wednesday. That starts. This should actually have Friday in it too, but we're not going to be in the room on Friday. But we'll have one that starts on Monday. Okay. But if you register for the trial, we'll know that you did, and we'll get an email that says you did, and we'll be able to get your indicators indicating for you over the weekend, over the holiday and everything, over the weekend and the holiday. Just let us know. We'll get your indicators indicating for you. I know the markets are going to be sporadically open, and they're probably not going to be moving around all that much, but you'll be able to get your indicators on there, and you'll be able to do your back testing and everything else that people tend to love to do with these tools. And we'll get you started. All right. So today we had a better day than yesterday. It wasn't as good as we've been. We've been averaging $1,420 per day, and we're up about half of that today. Yesterday was about a quarter of that. But if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you have to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today is the 23rd day of December 2025. We're up 6 ticks on the NQ, minus 22 on the YM, plus 65 on gold, plus 16 on the ES. That put us at plus 770 on the morning session. Today it took 5 minutes and 4 trades to get to $2,050. We took a total of 32 trades with 5 stop outs today. So that put us at 84% of our trades were break even or better. We did have a few break even trades today. Out of those 32, probably 4 I think were break even. On the month now, that puts us at $24,145 over 17 business days, averaging $1,420 per contract per day. On the year, we're now at $277,602 over 221 business days, averaging $1,256 per contract per 2-hour business day. Now, following 24/20 blueprint, we did improve on this a little bit. Yesterday, because we had these horrible numbers yesterday, 57 minutes and 30 trades, it's really the 57 minutes that killed us. We were up above this level the day before yesterday, and then yesterday put us back down below it. So we're getting pretty close now. By the end of the year, we could be up above it again. It's going to be hard to recover from those 57 minutes right there. Yeah, those 57 minutes gave us 162 minutes so far this month, and last month we only had 158 the whole month. Oh, I'm sorry, last month we had 113 the whole month, and this month so far we have 162, and we still have a couple days left. Anyway, that's where it was. So let's get into the trades that we took, and then we'll see if we can take some trades here. Okay, on gold today, we had more trades than any of the market actually on gold today. So let's go back to the beginning. There's not that many bars today. We didn't have that much activity. But we're getting there. There we go. There we go. All right, so on gold, our first trade of the day on gold was 1 tick, and then our next trade was right here. We picked up 17 ticks. And that is where we got the goal for the day when we picked up those 17 ticks right there. So we're at 18 there. Then we got one more there to go to 19. Oops. And we went to, I have that as a blue because I got it on the pullback right there and off blue. But we went to 21 ticks right there. And then 23 ticks. And then 34 ticks, and we had a break even. We went from 34 to 44, and 44 to 54. Then somewhere there was an orange thing in here somewhere. All right, so I missed putting in one of those. Then went from 54 back down to 44. I had messed up that trade. It ended up being a full stop out, but I didn't get the full stop out. I got out of the trade at -10 because I had messed the thing up and I was in it the wrong way, and I ended up losing 10 ticks on it. Then I got those 10 ticks back, went back to 54. Then we went to 64 and then to 65. So we had 2 more trades in here that I didn't put arrows on, and I didn't count that one. So anyway, we ended up with 65 ticks on the gold this morning. Okay, 65 ticks on the gold. And during the break, it didn't have any trades. Nope, no trades during the break. Actually, there was one right here, one right there during the break. And that was gold this morning. So it was pretty good. Yeah, well, gold was our winner, our big winner today. We're up $650 in gold alone per contract. I think, is that right? No, we're up 65 ticks in gold. So yeah, $650 per contract. On the YM, kind of got it handed to us a little bit today. There was our first trade of the day on the YM. We were plus 13. Is that right? No, we're plus 1. Then we're plus 3. Then we're plus 13. And then we stopped out, and that put us at -2. And then we went from -2. We had to stop out again. We went to -17. Somewhere in here, we had to stop out. We went to -17. Then we had 10 ticks there to get us to -7. And then there was one more trade. We went from -7 to -22. So we had another stop out. I don't know why I didn't put those red ones in here, but we had 2 more stop outs in there. And we ended up with -22 on the line. That's what I meant when I said it. It kind of handed it to me. But I apparently forgot to put the red arrows on here, wherever they were, wherever I stopped out those 2 times. But I did get it in my log. And so we're -22. Now, during the break, let's see. There was a long trade right here during the break. 1 trade during the break. Okay. Now, I'm going through these markets pretty quick. We're going to have probably a good Solid 15 minutes, maybe more to trade, but I don't think we're going to have much to trade. Look at the ES. This is our whole day in the ES right here. 2 trades. We were plus 12 on the first one and plus 4 on the second one. So that got us to plus 16 on the ES during the break. That was a trade right there during the break. So 3 trades all day on the ES. And tomorrow is going to be even slower. That's why we're not going to do tomorrow. Right, on the NQ. And the NQ kind of had our number right up until the last trade there today. Let's go all the way back. All the way back. All the way to here. Here we are. All right. On the NQ. The first trade of the day, we picked up 4 ticks. Then the second trade, we picked up another 4 to get us to 8. And then we stopped out. That put us at minus 17. Then we stopped out again. That put us at minus 42. And then we got 4 ticks to minus 38 and 8 ticks to minus 30. Then 4 ticks to minus 26. Then 4 ticks to minus 22. Then 12 ticks finally to minus 10. And then I think that was 12 ticks to minus 10. And then that one right there was 16 ticks to plus 6. And that is where we ended it on the NQ. This is the whole break during the NQ. So I don't know if we're going to have any trades here. During the NQ, we started here. And during the break, we didn't have a single trade during the break. All right. Nope, nothing during the break. And that was it. That was our whole day on the NQ. All right. So there you have it. And we finished all that in 11 minutes. So now we have 19 minutes. So if I go here, we go down to the bottom down here, we can put 19 in this column. Okay. And put the date on over here, 12/23. And we'll see if we have any trades at all. All right. All right, it's 12/12. Yeah, so that's about right. Oops, I don't need this one. Just leave that one and come back in here. Gold has a trade right in here, right there. The ES does not have a trade here. The NQ needs a down close followed by an up close. Okay. This down close right here on gold at 4.3 was the spot to trade it. Okay. I missed it. Arguably, you have a trade here on the YM. It looks like it's 1 tick above. No, just because I want to try to get some trades off in here doesn't mean I should take things that are not actually valid trades. Okay, the question box out. Here it is. I don't see any questions yet. Bruce, do you have any questions? If you do have any questions, you type them into the question box. The only people who can see what you type in are me and Dwayne. Okay, nobody else can see what you type in. So we'll answer any questions that you may have. If you have a private question, just say you have a private question and we won't read it out loud. All right, so the NQ needs a down close to get into the oversold and then an up close to give us a trade. The YM, this was above the midpoint right there. That's why that's not a trade on the YM. The gold did have a trade here, but I looked at it too late. I didn't get it. So overall, there is one thing I wanted to go and look at, and I'll go look at it again here in a minute. But overall on the day, we're at the high of the day here on the ES. 69.52 is the high of the day, and I said by the end of the year we should hit 7,000. When I drew this in, I should have stretched that arrow out over to here. But by the end of the year, I was saying 7,000. And if we look at this, this was from a couple Fridays ago. The meeting that I did in here a couple Fridays ago. And see, this was January 9th. 680s, 690s. If we just take a screenshot of that, right here. Those are January 9th, 690s. Yeah. And play it out a little bit more. What did I say here? Okay. This is what I really wanted. This right here is what I really wanted. Okay, so let's get back in here and see if we have any trades coming up. We'll bump this again back to 4. We could have a trade here coming up right now on the NQ. The NQ is going to need an up close from where it is. That would be a long trade. The YM was not in the right place. The gold gave us that a few minutes ago. Then I was just looking at that. It gave us another trade right there. I should be up on gold right now. We're still looking for the YM though. I don't think YM, the NQ. Sorry, the NQ. All right, gold needs an up close followed by a down close. Those are nice leg lengths, but they're getting smaller. Okay, now this thing that I printed right here, let me save it and we can come back to this. Okay, so what I was looking at were the 695s, I think. January 9th, 695s. And I'll go look at them again here in a minute. The NQ is too far away to give us a trade. The gold was the only one that had a trade. It had 2 trades and we missed them both right there and right there. Both were good trades. The YM was above the midpoint, so that was not a trade. The ES needs to pull back down into the oversold. The NQ is too far away from the midpoint, so it's not going to give a trade. Right here, the gold did not get into the overbought, so this right here is not a trade. Okay. Now, let's see. Schwab. Log in. Log in. Trade options. SPY calls chain. Just calls. $48 and January 9th calls. Okay, so we don't have anything there. We don't have anything here. We don't have anything here or here right now. So the 695s, January 9th, 695s is what I was looking at earlier. And they're priced about the same right now as they were 2 weeks ago. But if we hit that 7,000 number, then those things are going to go up in price dramatically. See this right here? The 695 and 696s is what I was looking at earlier. And they're actually lower than that right now. 695 and 696 is just a little bit. They're off by about 50 cents right now. But if we hit that 7,000 number, like I think we're going to, then those things would be, I'm guessing, it depends when we hit that 7,000 number, but I think those things will be multiples of where they are right now. Okay. Yeah, I can cancel the order here on the NQ. I had an order waiting up here on the NQ for the up close. I just canceled it. It's too far away now. All right, and the gold gave 3 legs down. Now you see how this leg was this big. This leg was this big. Then this one was a little bit shorter. Then this was smaller, but then it gapped down, and now it's recovered, filled the gap, and it's put in a higher swing. So it's almost gotten a direction change there. The YM just hit the YBR, so that is going to be a direction change there. And nothing. It's too far away there. If we pull back and get into the oversold on the ES, then we'll have a trade there. On the gold, we just need to pull back down here. It needs to get into the oversold and then pull back. It's a long ways away from a trade. And we have about 9.5 minutes left. So hopefully we'll get one trade off. We haven't gotten anything yet. All right, we missed 2 gold trades. That would have been good. But we're now gone 10 minutes with no trades other than those 2 gold trades that I missed. One was right here, and the other one was right there. This was not a trade because it didn't come out of the overbought. This was not a trade because it didn't come off the midpoint. And now it's going to flip the YBR bullish. So everything's going to be in the green now, heading up toward the end of the session, I think. The S is about to put in a new high again. The S is going to be up to 69.55 right now, I think. 69.55. Why do I choose that number? The DOM chose that number for us right there. Okay, and when it pulls back, 69.50 down here. All right. Well, on the NQ right now, we didn't put in a higher swing, so we tightened our range in here. But if it gets a down close, it'll put it in the oversold, and we might end up with a trade there. On the YM, it's going to go sideways, oversold right here. If we get a down close right now, then the next bar could hit the midpoint and bounce up. Okay, same thing on the gold. But we really don't have any trades. Other than that stuff, there's no trades here right now. Okay. I know this is a very slow and painful market. I think this is bad. Wait till tomorrow comes. That's why we're not doing tomorrow. All right, we're in the oversold on the NQ now. We need an up close over there. An up close on the NQ now will be a long trade. Okay, that is, and an up close on the gold will be a long trade. So we have a chance for 2 trades here before this session is over right now. You know, close on gold and up close on the NQ. Those are our 2 closest trades right now. I like the gold. I don't like the NQ. Okay, the gold can still be a trade, even though it closed down. It's a little 1.3, so you'd be buying 2.3 on that. Okay. And the NQ has a low of 66. So you'd be buying 71 on that. Okay, now as long as those lows stay in the same place, then these orders are correct. All right, now I'm going to cancel the gold because it just got too far away and So now the NQ is the only one we have. I'm going to slide it off to the side, and we'll keep track of the bottom. 66.50 up to 71.50 is what we're looking at. The gold's too far away. It's not going to. It'll be below the midpoint on an up close now. See, it's one tick below the midpoint. If I would have had my order on there, it would have just gapped me up to plus one tick and would have just taken me out with one tick. So the NQ is the only hope right now. And of the two trades, I like the gold one better than the NQ, but we'll see what happens. The reason I say that is because the range here on the NQ is so tight. So if we get an up close on this, it's going to be right here with the swing high being right there. It's barely enough for him to get the stop to break even after entry. Right, I think we just got a little lower here, 65.75 and lower. 65. It can't go below 475. Okay. If it goes below 64.75, then it's not going to be a trade. There it goes below 64.75. It'll give it down, close, and it'll pull it away from the midpoint. There's 64.75. Can't go down anymore. And it just did. No trade on the NQ either. Cancel that one. All right, well, this is what I was afraid it was going to be like. The YM could have a trade here. We need an up close on the YM right now. Now, the YM cannot go below 78. Okay, so the YM can't go down from where it is. Low is 79, so you'd be buying 89 on it. Like this. Okay. It just went too low. Now, the reason that's too low is because the up close is going to be below the midpoint. So you're not going to have a trade. Like this one over here, the up close here was below the midpoint. The up close on this one will be below the midpoint. YM actually dragged the midpoint down. That's not a trade. This didn't get into the oversold. That's not a trade. This is below the midpoint, not a trade. All right, so the valid trades that happened were on gold. We had 1, 2 nice trades on gold. That's all that happened in this half-hour period. Or, well, our however many minutes, 17-minute period, 18-minute period. Okay, well, I don't see anything else happening, so let's just say this. If you have not taken a free trial with us and you want to, go here to mytradingiq.com, click on the purple button. There's no credit card required for that trial. Click on that purple button. It's going to bring you to this registration page. Just fill out the form. make sure you give us a TradingView login ID down here. If you don't have a TradingView login ID, click on this, watch this video, get your TradingView login ID, and give it to us. Okay, and what your indicator's indicating for you. If you do it now, you'll be good up until a week and a half from now. You get a really long trial if you do it right now. All right. All right, that's it. With that, we can pass it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne is ready. There he is.
Hey, recap of the morning session.
Today it took 5 minutes and 4 trades to get to $205 with one contract to $2,050 with 10.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. If I don't talk to you before then, have a Christmas.
Yes, you too, and your family, and everyone else, our family out there listening. I hope you all have a great and safe Christmas, and we will be back on Monday. All right.
Thanks, take care.
You too, Dwayne.
All right.
Have a great holiday. We'll see you.
All right, guys. We're going to just dive right into our daily devotional. This is where we normally start each and every afternoon broadcast. The topic that we're on right now, peace, life in the spirit. Our scripture today, Joshua 24, verse 15. And I'm going to share it with you from the Message translation. If you decide that it's a bad thing to worship God, then choose a God you'd rather serve and do it today. Choose one of the gods your ancestors worshipped from the country beyond the river, or one of the gods of the Amorites on whose land you're now living. As for me and my family, we worship God. Again, that was Joshua 20. Talk about circumstances over which we have no control. None of us have control over our circumstances. We are responsible for the way we pilot ourselves in the midst of things as they are. Two boats can sail in opposite directions in the same wind. The skill of the pilot. The pilot who conducts his vessel onto the rocks says he could not help it. The wind was in that direction. One who took his vessel into the harbor had the same wind, but he knew how to trim his sail so that the wind conducted him in the direction he wanted. The power of the peace of God enable you to steer your course in the mix-up of ordinary life. O Lord, unto you do I turn, to you. I am but a homeless waif until you touch me. The security of your peace, sweet sense of love. Reflect on this. What power does peace have in my life? Do I rob peace of its power by insisting that it submit to my common sense? What could be more secure than being at peace, loving God? Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we choose this day to serve you. Grateful hearts, willing spirits, dedicate our lives, our home, all that we have to your purposes. Give us strength to remain faithful, courage to stand firm in our commitment to you. As for us and our households, we serve the Lord. It's in Jesus' name, believe and pray. Everybody said, Amen. And happy Tuesday. Let me give you the numbers. Start here in the U.S. with the cash markets, or the indices as they're called. Currently, the Dow is up 87 points. The Nasdaq's up 82. S&P 500 up 19. The odd man out is the Russell 2000, which gives me a little concern. 3 of the major indices in the green. Russell 2000 is down 15. The commodity basket, oil up 21 cents, trading 58.21 last. Gold up $32.60, trading 4,502 last. Silver up $2.50, trading 71.08 last. That's a gain of over 1.5%. Asian markets at the close. Nikkei posted a gain of points. Shanghai rose 2. The Hang Seng dropped 7. And in the European markets, at the close, FTSE up 3, DAX up 56, CAC down 17. So that gave us a mixed day in Asia, mixed day for the UK, and at the moment, it's a mixed Radio Tuesday here in the US of A. Let's take a look at Wall Street news. Attempt to. GB. U.S. stocks tipped higher today after fresh data showed surprisingly strong growth in the U.S. economy this summer, leading investors to trim bets on near-term interest rate cuts. Today brought a last gasp of data ahead of the Christmas holiday. Wall Street got a first look at third quarter GDP, showed the U.S. economy grew at a 4.3% annualized rate in the quarter. That was much higher than the 3% expected. Potential sign of continued economic resilience. Shutdown delayed report also found that consumer spending remained strong summer. After the release, traders paired bets on getting a rate cut in January. Markets now price in over 85% odds of the Federal Reserve standing pat, up from 80% a day ago and 75% last week. That said, a plurality of wagers remain on 2 cuts by the end of next year. Not what you want to hear, but it is what it is. It was on April 2nd that President Trump appeared at the White House to unveil his Liberation Day tariffs. The sweeping announcement roiled the markets and helped set the tone for the president's second-term tariff push, even though many of the country's specific tariff rates he held up in a chart would soon be paused until May and then tweaked throughout the rest of the year. It's called negotiate. Trump also made a laundry list of promises that day that would follow his historic moves. Reading the speech as 2025 comes to a close reveals how consistent Trump has been. He talked lovingly of tariffs that day, as he has at nearly every chance since. Great consistency, Trump said in April, because I've been talking about it for 40 years. And we did have quite a bit of economic data that came out today. showing that the U.S. economy is stronger than expected. An initial reading of third quarter gross domestic product showed the U.S. economy expanded at an inflation-adjusted annualized rate of 4.3%, a far faster pace than the 3.8% in the second quarter. Now, that data is from the Commerce Department, released today. It's the fastest growth rate in 2 years. An acceleration in consumer spending up 3.5% from 2.5% in the second quarter, and exports up 8.8% from negative 1.8% in the second quarter. These were the main contributors to third quarter GDP. Federal spending also played a sizable role. Reflection of the large uptick in defense spending, as well as buyouts for federal workers, part of efforts to ultimately lower government spending. Fourth quarter GDP report, set to be released next month, however, is expected to be negatively impacted by a drop in federal spending resulting from the 43-day government shutdown. President Trump said today the report was a reflection of his sweeping tariffs, which he increased substantially during the third quarter. However, a pending Supreme Court case could nullify many of the tariffs he's enacted and potentially result in large refunds to importers. If the Supreme Court decides to put the U.S. economy into a recession, well, I guess it's time for all of us to just pack up and move. I mean, what's the point? Got all this money pouring in, but somehow it's wrong. It's immoral that America should be treated on the world stage as fairly as all these other countries who've been bleeding us dry for decades. Hey, welcome to Capitol Hill. And here's a flip-flop. Hunter Biden appeared to raise concerns about his father's immigration policies, saying the U.S. would be better off without immigrants that are coming here illegally, draining us of resources. The son of former President Joe Biden said yesterday on the Sean Kelly show, "I don't even know if I'm a Democrat anymore." This is the guy whose dad pardoned him crimes unimaginable, crimes that would have sent you and I to prison the rest of our natural lives. He's walking scot-free, money in his pocket, and dissing his dad. Hunter said America is addicted to the problem of immigration and everyone is talking past each other. He added that anybody running for president will try to fix this immigration issue. We need immigration, Hunter said. Not that we care what Hunter says. We need vibrant immigration, but we don't want immigrants that are coming here illegally, draining us of resources and also being prioritized above people that are actual, literal heroes that are coming home. They're still recovering from 20 years of endless war. Later in the interview, Biden admitted to being about $15 million. He also slammed his father's botched withdrawal from Afghanistan. I think this is what he said. I think one of the failures, was the way in which they executed the withdrawal from Afghanistan. Hunter said, "I think it was an obvious, and I can't repeat that part, failure. 13 Marines are dead. I think there was a better way to do it. And I think that I can blame it on his generals. I can blame it on the people, the way in which he did it. But my dad always knew this. The buck stops with him." So don't try to blame shift on us. Joe Biden, whoever was running the White House, they will own that withdrawal until they finally rewrite history, which they're in the process of doing on a daily basis. The Washington Post published an article yesterday that fabricates two quotes attributed to Heritage Foundation President Kevin Roberts. Roberts sent an email Sunday to Heritage staff announcing personnel changes at the organization. Washington Post reporters Jacob Bogage and Isaac Arnsdorf claim to have obtained the internal email, although the two quotes they cite from Roberts are noticeably. Washington Post said, "This weekend, most of our staff from our legal and economic centers are departing immediately. Wish them well, though this manner of their departures speaks volumes." Kevin Roberts said, "This weekend, additional staff from our legal and economic centers are departing immediately. Wish them well, blah, blah, blah." Washington Post, Heritage has always been home to voices within the conservative, but alignment on mission and loyalty to senior leadership are non-negotiable. Kevin Roberts said Heritage has always been home for many voices within the conservative movement, but alignment on mission and loyalty to the institution and colleagues are non-negotiable. The Heritage Foundation asked the Post reporters and White House editor Amy Gardner to correct the story Monday night. According to a Heritage spokesman, Post reporter suggested there were multiple versions of the email. Roberts sent only one email Sunday. They never asked to confirm their lousy information and printed it anyway because it suited. That comment from Cody Sargent, a spokesman for Heritage, who simply called it. Yeah, it's a state of country in which we. All right, Logic 247. That's our 24/7 around the clock Emini alert service. Last week, week 385, we ended up one stop out. 3% of the actionable. Now, that's what a normal trading week looks like. It was a very good week. And then we come into the holiday trade week where, well, things are not so pretty. We've only issued 25 alerts this week. Still waiting on the outcome of 14. 10 actionable alerts, of which 3 or 30% have been stopped down. Now we're in week 386, and over the last 386 weeks, we've issued over 21,100 individual handcrafted alerts. And what we've averaged on a weekly basis is 20% or less of the alerts being stopped out based on simple market structure and a simple process we teach all of our passport holders. The purpose of the logic alerts is to teach our traders how to read a chart, how to understand what the chart is telling them, how to interpret everything, how to know where to anticipate potential resistance, how to anticipate potential support. Without that understanding, it's difficult how to be a consistently profitable trader. Every logic alert has an entry price, long or short, initial target designed to help get your goal for the day, and in most cases, additional targets and then a final trade to target. Now, whether you ever trade a logic alert or not, I encourage you to use the purpose created. That's to help you chart. Again, you don't have to trade them. Just use them along with a 30-minute chart, and pretty soon, be reading the chart just like you do a newspaper. Great mystery novel. Logic alerts can come out anytime around the clock. 2 a.m. or just trade around the clock. Our day session is their night session, and vice versa. Long before Logic 247 had our original alert service, the concierge trade alerts. Different in a lot of ways. For the purpose of this discussion, I'll simply say they typically come out 5 minutes ahead of the Globex open, like they did Sunday night at 5:55 p.m. Eastern. Got busy last night, so it was 5 minutes after the open. All of these targets were published for our members. S&P 500, the Dow, the Russell, NQ, and silver. 5 minutes after the market. The Tuesday session began last night at 6 p.m. Eastern. Normal day, our traders have this information 5 minutes before the last night was 5 minutes after the open. Let's go to the chart of the S&P 500 bellwether and see exactly where we stand. All right. Yesterday, we were up against that 38% fib extension. So the next spot to look for resistance, right about here. See where blue turns to red. We'll call it 69.59/60. Got a high today. 53.75. Now, take this out, then we've got the 50% fib extension, which lines right up the high of the December 12th candle. Then we have the high of December 11th. And then it's pretty much clear sailing all the way up to the all-time historic high, which was put in on October at 70.14. 70.14. The all-time historic closing high is 69.85 half. That was put in on 28. So, got a leg, retracement, and a leg and a retracement. Or do we have a leg, a retracement, leg that's rallying? Certainly looks like we're getting that Santa Claus rally that you always hear about. Here come the beginning of the new year. This may take a bit of a different direction. Hey, but we'll see. Don't grow to the sky, neither do the markets, but hey, maybe this time it's different. Let's see. All alerts are created on the 30 chart, logic, and the CTAs. There's nothing magic about 30 minutes. It's just the time frame I chose years ago. Stuck with it. Vertical line separates today, Tuesday, from yesterday, Monday. And the horizontal lines, those are the weekly trading zones that were published yesterday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. Publish the weekly trading zones for our members every week last 16 time. 16 times 2. What that comes out to. Now, have we found the high of the session? Possibly. Take a look at the black step line. how it's starting to angle to the right. Once it crosses blue and climbing, that's when we look for retracement back to the BBC. Got one more zone up ahead at 75/56. That is the highest weekly zone for the now rest of the week. Today was slow. Tomorrow's going to be, you look at this and you go, well, gee, that doesn't look slow. Well, when you're trading in smaller time frames, it's pretty slow. That was evident in the live training room and in the trading Michael did just a few minutes ago. Dow, here's where we opened last night, right at the weekly trading zone. Got below the BBC there for just a minute, then we came back up. This was the 9 o'clock candle. Came just a ticks away. Low was 32. Target was at 20. Missed it by 7 ticks. Here's a 9:30 opening candle. Wall Street. It's typically the best candle of the day. And it rallied us right up to. In fact, back here, let's see, we zone. Now overcome that zone. Hit the long target once. Just pull back held. Market found support at the zone. And that's how we look at the zone. This price rallies up to a zone, we expect resistance until proven. Price drops to a zone, we expect support. So now the Dow's consolidating at the long target, and also the black step line, as you can see, it's starting to lean right. Continue to consolidate here. Retracement back to the BBC. Price always reverts to the mean. In our case, the mean is green. C stands for bull bear course. Price is above the green line, we anticipate higher prices. Price gets below the green line, we anticipate prices. Higher prices. It's really pretty simple. Russell, that was the standout of the day when I gave you the numbers from around ES, the Dow, and the NQ all in the green, but Russell is the only one in the red. And not always, but often, Russell will give you some indication of the direction of the indices. It's not something you can build a strategy on. There's no one index that always leads the one I always keep an eye on is the Russell. I like to see what it's doing. And this is certainly contrary to charts we've already had, and we'll look at which is the other index here in a moment. Opened right above this weekly trading zone last night. Down, found support, caught a bounce, failed to take out this high, got below the BC, and down to the short target. When the market finds support, next candle we open the zone, send us all the way back to the zone overhead resistance. While support will always send the market looking for resistance, resistance will always send the market for support. Found here at the weekly zone, spiked it a little bit here. This area right here, that's an area that I would look for support, spike through it just a little bit. Sitting sort of quietly here right now, top of this weekly 2558/15. in Q. Opened last night. We ran up to the week, consolidated for quite a few hours. Got below the VVC here, and we dropped, but we didn't quite make it all the way. Short target, which was simply based off yesterday's low. Eventually we did. But this is the issue with holiday trades. Don't get the follow through you anticipate. Reason to monitor out the window, bang your head on the wall. It's just the nature of holiday trade. While I know it can be frustrating, time is something you'll simply learn. Target, leg, and a retracement, leg. Almost made it to the long target. Off yesterday's high. Got close, and we may still make it. Got to overcome the black step line. That's potential resistance. High of the session, and then up at the long target. But again, the step line's leaning right, so we cannot make it on this move. It's back to the VBC and the weekly zone. Potentially close today. Upside. Oil, kind of lackluster, sideways. It's up a little bit. This is where we closed yesterday, 795 roughly, and we're up 8.25. About to get a bullish cross, so certainly see the potential for us to hit the line today. Gold, sure we opened last night. Second 30-minute candle, long target, right through the weak zone. We got a leg and a retracement, leg, and this was just getting across here. We got a retracement, almost took us to the short target. Buyers came in, back up. Now we got a leg and a retracement. Question is this pullback going to hold? Bearish cross right here. Resistance. Also, red and falling, it's curling up and becoming blue climbing, which is bullish. So keep this area in mind, and also this area right here. That's potential resistance if the market resumes. Sell-off began about 8:30 this morning. Yep. 9 o'clock, 30-minute candle. Street open. Then candle, we reverse course. Price is trying to push higher. Got a little double top here, and you got the bearish cross. Whenever you have a bearish cross that leads to an extended move, first time price revisits that area will almost resistance. So higher, we definitely have to see price take out this area here, this area here. Next major resistance right here. And last, silver. This was the opening candle last night. Now you only need 2 pennies in silver to get your goal for leg and a retracement. back hill, a leg, and a retracement. We had a candle open and close below the BBC. However, silver managed to reverse and took us up to a high on the session, 71.26. Potential support at the black step line. Timing. See. Hang on one second. $71.26, high of the session. Highest weekly zone this week for silver is 70.60. That's where we sit across all the markets. It's pre-holiday. Picture though, it's very bullish. Yes, at the high of the session. Like it's about to change. 3 30-minute candles consolidating sideways. This is an inside candle, and this candle right here looks like it's going to take out. What was this high here? $53.75. That's right where we're at right now on this candle. Still break to the upside, and that step line could straighten out because we still got more room in this weekly zone. Last look on the daily, and we are approaching this area here. Picture. Call it 69.60 to be safe, conservative. Then you got the 50% fib extension right up with the top of this candle, December 12th. 50 is 69.73. Then we got this high resistance. And I can't get it. So to become a member, email Valerie support@cfrn.net. Let her remember, and she'll send you all the information you need. Signed up. Once you become a passport holder, 2 hours of live training. Trades in real time and real. Top of the 2 hours of interactive group training every trading day. Also get private one-on-one. Extra charge, private mentoring. Gotta do is ask. Strategy you learn, the indicators you use as a passport holder across all markets, all stocks, futures, crypto, Forex, ETFs. Doesn't matter. Price flows the same across all markets and all time. Support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over again and again. It's a never-ending cycle. As a passport holder, Logic 247 alerts around the clock. It's what's going to teach you how to read the chart properly. Every evening, you'll get the concierge trade alerts, typically 5 minutes ahead of the open, which is 6 p.m. Eastern. CTAs came out last night, 5 minutes after the open. Typically, they're out by 5:50 Eastern. Every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern, trading zones, And every Thursday night, you're able to attend the member shop. Of course, with Thursday Christmas, there will be a shop this Thursday or next Thursday, which will. Last but not least, you get the golden keys that open all the private channels and everything a trader needs, all under one roof. Just email Valerie, support@CFRN. All the details. Signed up. All right. Good word for the day and for the week. Reminder, we won't tomorrow. Friday, we shall return. Sunday night, 6 p.m. Eastern. And we will have live training. And we will have an afternoon broadcast Monday and Tuesday this week. Our good word for today. This Christmas, reach out to someone. John 1:14. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. It's a great story from 5th Avenue Presbyterian Church in the city about a recovering alcoholic, Jim. It's his first Christmas alone. When a young family sat down beside him he couldn't handle it. As he was leaving the church, met Pastor Thomas Tedwell, who asked where he was going. Out for a drink, he replied. Tedwell said, "Can't. Who's your sponsor?" "On vacation," replied Jim. "I came here tonight looking for a word of hope and ended up sitting beside this happy family. If I had my life together, I'd be here with them." As the pastor walked to the pulpit, he prayed, "God, give me Jim." Then, after welcoming the congregation, he said, "I have an unusual request. If anyone here is a friend of Bill W.'s, or you know it, please meet me in the vestry." Wilson, better known as W., founded Alcoholics Anonymous, and people in the program simply refer to themselves as friends of Bill. Immediately, people all over the church began to respond. As Dr. Tedwell observed, while I was busy preaching about the incarnation, the Word was becoming flesh before my eyes. This Christmas, some of the people around you are hurting, lost hope. So, let the Word become flesh, lift the fallen, encourage the despairing, minister to the sick and the forgotten. Jesus said in Matthew 25:40, "Did it to these, my brothers, you were." Instead of keeping it to yourself this year, reach out to someone. Go ahead. It'll be your Christmas ever. That's our good word. And for the week, all have incredible holiday season. Seeing you all next week. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wherever you are, God continue to richly bless you. See? I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.